In today's session, we'll understand an interesting and easy concept on Power Query parameters. Let's do it carefully step by step. Well, so here we go. Power Query parameters. What are parameters? Yes, these are the input values. These are the input values supplied at data source for easy access of big data with specific conditions. Easy access of big data with specific conditions. What do we mean? For example, we give one country, we supply one country as a input value, parameter value. To Power Query, we get the result appropriately. We change the country parameter value, result changes as per the given condition automatically. A nice concept, let's observe it carefully. Especially when working with big data, we need this Power Query concept. The main real-time use of Power Query is to filter big data for faster, easier, and streamlined data access. So let's launch Power BI, get data and financial sheet data. In your class notes, as usual, along with your class notes, you would receive one financial sheet data. You need to simply use it as a source. So here it is, get data. So I launched Power BI, get data, and it will prompt you for the file, input file. Let's have the input file. So let's say get data, and let's have the input file. So this one, file, Excel workbook, and say connect. And I'll take one Excel file here. So for this purpose, please hold on for a few moments. Let me make sure I get the correct file for easy understanding of our concept. Yes, so here it is. And here is your data, a sample file with some segments, okay, and segment column, country column, product column, etc. Let's concentrate on these two columns. Segment column, country column. So this is your actual data. Select the required file and open. Okay. Now I said it's a big data, right? Let's wait. So what we did, simply say get data. Let's wait. I'll simply say get data, browse for the required Excel file. Okay. I said just now, concentrate on segment and country column, these two columns. Okay, select these two columns. Of course, we are going to work with other columns as well. For now, concentrate on segment and country column. I said it's used data. So you don't want to load now. Instead, you would like to parameterize the input. So click on transform data. So here it is. You get the Power Query editor automatically. Back to our notes. So this is a Power Query editor. This is our actual play area today. So here it is. Transform data. Okay, do not load. Now, how to create new parameters with static drop-down values? We'll do two things. We'll learn two things. Static drop-down parameter values, dynamic drop-down parameter values. Static drop-down. From Power Query, say home ribbon, manage parameters, new parameter. Okay, here we go. Power Query home ribbon, manage parameter, new parameter. Okay, this one, manage parameter and new parameter like this. Once you click on new parameter, I'll say, for example, as a static drop down, right? So for now, country parameter. Country parameter, type any, and here suggested value, list of values, this one. What are the list of values? Yes, in our source, it is Germany, France, Mexico, etc. Germany, enter, France, enter, Mexico, like this. Default value, I'll say Germany. Current value, I'll say France. What's the difference? Let's see. Default value is for PBIX. Default value for PBIX. Observe carefully. Okay, next. Current value for Power Query. Default value for PBIX. And current value for Power Query. This one. Here it is. Okay, with this information, what's the difference? I repeat again. If I close the report now, open report later, the PBX report, it takes default value automatically. What about current value? Yes, to perform further transformations, we need some preview of data in Power Query. That preview of data is taken care by current value. Now click OK. Remember static drop down. I just auto hide the and click OK like this. Auto hide the taskbar and click OK like this. Next. With this information, so you see the France, right? Because the current value is France. Next. Okay, with this information, so static drop down is ready. France, Germany, Mexico. For now, limited number of country values. But in real world, we always work with dynamic data, changing data. You would like to have dynamic drop down. You would like to have dynamic drop down. So how to get the dynamic drop down? Let's observe it carefully here. So for dynamic drop down, what we do is we need to first identify the column based on which you need to get list of values. Okay, for example, segment column. Then what I do is right click segment column. Of course, firstly I'll right click financial data and duplicate column. Right click financial data, duplicate column. I'll call it as segment list. Okay, this one. I'll repeat once again what we did so far. Back to our notes. From Power Query home ribbon, manage parameter, new parameter, country parameter, France, Mexico, Germany. Default value VBIX, current value Power Query. This was static drop down. For dynamic drop down, right click the source and duplicate. Now right click segment column, remove other columns, remove duplicates. Remove other columns and remove duplicates. Step 2, 1 and 2. So here it is, duplicate, remove other columns, right click, remove other columns, then right click segment, remove duplicates. So here it is, remove duplicates so that we get correct result. Remember, right now you see only 5 values, right, per segment. Later point of time, the list may increase because the steps will be auto computed every time you load the report. Every time you open the report, perform navigations, the Power Query is automatically implemented. The M language expressions are automatically executed. Well, so you got the segment list table query ready. It's a table query. Go to transform, convert to list. Why? I'll show you in next few minutes. Next 1 or 2 minutes, I'll show you why we need to get into list. Remember, convert to list. Transform, convert to list. It's one of the leftover transformations in any column transformations previous examples. In the previous classes, we learned table transformations, any column transformations, etc. There we are left with the convert to list. Here it is. Now, why we are converting to list? Yes, reason. Our requirement to define new parameter, right? Our requirement to define new parameter like this. Go to parameter. I'll call it segment parameter. Earlier country, now segment. I don't want to provide list of values. I don't want to give static list, so go for a query. Which query? Yes, query from segment list. The parameter can take only list query. Remember, parameters cannot be linked to regular table queries directly. While creating the parameter, the list of values, parameter drop down values should be produced from the list query only. For this reason, we converted table query to list query. Then we need to supply some current value. For example, I'll take it as government. Give government, click OK. What we are doing now, we are defining segment parameter. Okay, observe carefully. Back to our nodes. From Power Query, transform any column transformation, convert to list, so that in the next screen, manage parameters, new parameter, you provide some name. Earlier country parameter name, now it is segment parameter name. Earlier list of values you mentioned manually, now it is from the query. Which query? From list query. This is a concept. Which list query? Segment list query, convert to list. Now very, very important final item. Yes, you got static drop down, country, dynamic drop down, segment. Finally, how to link above parameters to actual table, the actual data set. Here it is. You got two parameters, country parameter, static drop down. Segment parameter should be dynamic drop down. We'll get the dynamic drop down in next few minutes. Now, more importantly, remember it's a big data. The source is big, assumed to be big. So we are supposed to filter the data. Access only required rows, required data by using these two parameters. How? Go to the source query, okay, and right side of the column, any one column, segment or country, any one column, you identify the right side drop down arrow mark, okay, click that right side drop down arrow mark, then the horizontal arrow mark, vertical arrow mark on top, horizontal arrow mark here, click on equals. See here now, click on equals. Then we need to specify advanced, filter rows advanced, segment equal to parameter. Which parameter? Segment parameter. Same way, country equals to the parameter, country parameter. If it is basic, only one parameter, only one column condition is possible. We are supposed to define two parameters linked to two columns. So it should be advanced filter mode. Click OK. I repeat once again. Observe carefully. Firstly, static drop down parameter. Then created segment list. Remove other columns, remove duplicate segment list. From there, segment parameter. Yes, right now dynamic drop down is missing. We get it in next 2-3 minutes. Then what we do, once we get these two parameters, country parameter and segment parameter, finally drop down text filter equals. Then we get a filter condition like this: advanced, segment equals to segment parameter, country equals to country parameter, and this is how you define the parameters. Number one. Number two, link parameters to the main query. We are left with dynamic drop down. Now, before we close and apply, why we see only France here? Yes, France is the current value. Default value is a different one, right? Here it is. Go to parameter, manage parameter, current value is France, default value is Germany. See here how I verify it. Select the parameter, manage parameter. There we can do the parameter edits if required. Now close and apply. See here, close and apply. Main subject here is big data. You don't want to load all data into your Power BI in-memory Vertipack database. You would like to filter the data, load only the relevant required information for reporting. Assume, for example, huge products data. You would like to load only active products into Power BI in-memory database. Now, yes, let's go to a table or any other visualization. A table or any other visualization. Now, here we go. Go to table or any other visualization. Select table. Next. Here we go. For example, country. Say segment. I'll put this way for now. I'll go in order. Segment, country, and month, product, profit, sale, price, like this. like this. Okay, give this. Go to format, go to grid format. As usual, go to options. Okay, give some font size like this. Okay, so segment, country, month, product, profit, etc. in this way. Now, yes, you see France and government, the default value, and France. Now, what's our requirement? Number one, testing the dynamic drop down. Number two, testing the filter or the parameter, testing the parameters. So, drop down, mid of the screen, home tab, mid of the screen, edit parameters. See here, click on edit parameters. This is the place to verify the dynamic drop down. For example, small business, France or Mexico, anything like this. Static drop down, fixed drop down, list Mexico. Automatically, dynamically from the list query, we got this drop down segment parameter drop down. Click OK, apply. See here. So click apply. Now we are able to get only the small business Mexico data like this. Right? Here we go. What we are learning? Yes, we are understanding how to read only required data from a huge data source. You don't want to overload the Power BI in-memory database, the in-memory processing environment. You would like to filter and load only the relevant information. So once we load only the required data using parameters, then we can apply filters. Very, very important. Filters are different, parameters are different. Parameters are from the ETL perspective. You extract only the parameterized data, load it into Power BI. Then additionally, we can apply filters on this loaded data. For example, where sales amount greater than, like this, say greater than and 10,000, something like this. Click apply filter. So I repeat once again, filters are different, parameters are different. Parameters are mainly at the entry gate, I mean extraction of data at the gate, entry gate, whereas filters are the conditions in our main door. I mean to say, data already entered our compound, the Power BI compound, the in-memory database. Okay, so parameterized data is in Power BI compound, and you would like to apply conditions on top of it, we go for filters. So parameters first, filters next. When to go for parameters? Yes, huge amount of data you would like to classify, conditionally get only required columns that are required rows, then we go for parameters. Filters are different. Filters are conditions on the loaded data. Whatever parameterized data that was loaded, on top of this loaded parameterized data, on top of it, you would like to have visual conditions for end users, then we use filters. Yes, mid-market France data is loaded. On top of it, you apply filters. On top of it, you apply conditions like visual level, page level, and multi-page, that is report level. Okay, so we understood now static drop down. Number two, dynamic drop down. Number three, linking the parameters, testing the parameters. So here it is, we simply close and apply and perform the required edits. So data button, required table on the right side, and fields pane. Okay, so here it is difference. Parameters are mainly for ETL and need Power Query. Filters are mainly for visualizations. So whatever visualizations we define, on top of them you require Power Query activities. On top of them you require conditions. Then we use filters. To make it more specific in our notes, in which scenarios we need parameters. If the source data is very big or dynamic and conditionally extract only the specified data, in such a case, we make use of these parameters, remember. Whereas, on the other hand, in which scenarios we use filters? If source data is already loaded into Power BI Canvas or Power BI in-memory database, and you would like to display or visualize only few particular values. You remember different styles of filters, scopes of filters like visual, page, report, build through. Those are the conditions on existing data, right? So Power BI parameters first at ETL level, then filters next at visual level. Okay, so you practice these items carefully. Number one, static parameters, static drop down. Number two, dynamic drop down values. Then we also understood how to link those parameters to the main query, right? In the Power Query window. Then close and apply and test them. You practice these items carefully and do use me for your doubts and clarifications. Please make sure we practice on time throughout the course. Yes, anyone, any questions, let me know please. Now let's go for questions if any. Yes, Chandan, Harika, Bejolam, Harita, any questions, let me know please. Respond. Chandan, Harika, Harita, Jai Bhai, Bejolam, any questions?
It's okay
please?
for me.
Yes, others please. Jyoti, Lakshmi, Manoj, Navneet, Pratima, Ranjan Reddy.
No questions, sir.
Yes. Others, any questions please? Sagar, Somnath, Tejaswini, Uday, Vijayashri, Vijay Bhaskar. Any questions? Let me know. I'll wait.
No
Please,
question, sir.
fine, sir. Fine.
Yeah, I'm good, sir.
Fine.
It's good.
Okay. So how is parameters class then? Did
I
you
don't
enjoy?
have any question.
Fine, brother. Fine. How is parameters? Did you enjoy it? Is it good? What do you say?
Yes, yes.
Others?
Sir.
Yes, sir. I
Yes. Others, please respond.
interesting.
Interesting.
Interesting, sir.
Interesting.
Fine. Make sure you practice the things carefully, and our mock tests will be more interesting now, as usual. What do you say? Yes or no? The daily mock test that you receive
Yes,
after the
sir.
chapter, after the class. Yes, you want it or not? The mock test. Yes or no? Let me know,
We
please.
want.
I'll do. Okay. I'll provide you the mock test FAQs as usual. We're in level 3, right? Level 3 FAQs. So I'm sending you the Power Query parameters document, and that input file is there, right? Financial file. It's the same file you have earlier for the slicer visual sync class. Remember, starting of the classes,
Sir, yes, sir.
yeah, slicer visual sync, date, time, you got one filter slicer, right? You remember date slicer, date picker. Do you remember that? Slicer concept.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the same financial data we are using. Okay. Yep. So here we go. Please make sure you complete the practice on time. Yes, so here it is. So we are right now working on the parameters. Next, we need to learn about something else called step reorders and other activities one by one. Just make sure we follow the notes carefully step by step, and make sure we practice on time throughout the class. Okay. Yes, one email sent just now. Please check it. I'll wait. Just now it was sent. Mail might be on the way. Just now sent. Mail might be on the way. Please make sure we receive the mail before we leave for the day. Can we have a friendly mock test tomorrow, everyone? On exclusively Power Query activities for last 3 days, 3 classes, level 1, level 2, level 3. Yes, please confirm.
Yeah.
2 people, 3
Okay.
people. Others, please. Others,
Sure.
4 people.
Sure,
Others,
sir.
5, 6. Others,
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
7, 8. Yeah,
Okay, sir.
others, 9, 10. Others, some attendees, no response, please.
Yeah.
Vijay Bhaskar.
So I am not tomorrow, sir. I am not busy.
Sure.
Yeah, fine, brother, fine. Manoj, what happened, Manoj? Please tell me what happened.
I am busy, sir. Tomorrow, I am having some work.
Okay.
So I haven't get the email.
I will attend the classes, but I will be little bit busy tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
You sent the email?
Yeah, just now sent. Might
Maybe,
be
sir. I
on
will
the
attend.
Let's wait, sister. Let's wait. Then why don't we do day after tomorrow then? What do you say, friends? Day after tomorrow mock test. Okay, everyone, please confirm.
But day after tomorrow, okay. Day after tomorrow.
Day after tomorrow is okay,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Sure.
Any days.
We'll do day after tomorrow for the mock test. We are meeting tomorrow as usual to understand few more things on Power Query and slowly getting into the next concept for Power BI Cloud. Okay, we'll do one by one. Let's have a friendly mock test day after tomorrow. Please make sure you complete the items carefully. I just rolled back the mail just now because I forgot to, add the screenshots, practice screenshots in the attachment. I just rolled back the mail. Please bear with me. I sent it, but again I just undo, roll back because I missed out in sending attachment for the screenshots for practice purpose. Yes, email sent just now. Please check it. I'll wait. Please check it.
Did not get it, sir.
Just now sent, sister. Just now sent.
Okay.
On the way. Let's wait for some time. Let's have a friendly mock test day after tomorrow, please. Let's do it carefully on time. Yep. Okay. Please practice on time as usual. Yes, have you received the mail by now? Please check it. I'll wait. Please refresh your inbox or check your promotions also. Please do it. I'll wait.
Got it, sir.
Got it? Yes. Others, let me know, please. I'll
Yes.
wait.
Yes, sir. I
Good,
got
sir.
it.
Yes,
Yes,
please.
sir. Received, sir.
Sure.
Yes, I got it.
Fine.
Yes.
Got it.
Fine then. Yeah, please make sure you complete all the practice items on time, please. Thank you. Have a nice time. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you, friends. Thank you. Bye. Please practice. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, friends. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you. Bye.